Walkie check.
Good check.
Copy that. What's the ETA on
2 minutes.
Copy that.
Okay, and roll sound.
Rolling.
Incoming transmission.
2, 1.
Hello, Covered Squad. I hope you're all doing good. It is nice to have you here. Today, we are actually going to talk about a most discussed topic in the world of superbikes, and it is about the gear shift pattern that is used in a MotoGP vehicle. Is it different from the road going versions? So, we will be jumping into that, and I'll give you a fair idea of what it is, why is it, and things like that. So, let's jump in. So, what is a MotoGP gear shift pattern? So, we will be discussing if there's any advantages for the race shift pattern or a MotoGP pattern. And can a normal road going bike with a universal gear shift pattern change the gear shift pattern into a MotoGP shift pattern? So we will discuss on that as well. And my take on a MotoGP shift pattern. Is it good? Will I be interested in doing that? And last but not the least, I have a bonus topic as why MotoGP riders are pushed out from the pit by the mechanics or the persons who's standing there. Why is that? There is a push always. If you are a MotoGP nerd, then you will understand what I'm saying about. Anyway, I will take you through that so that we will have a fair idea of why is that happening as well. So, before going into the MotoGP shift, I would want to introduce you. Most of the people would know, but for the people who do not know it, to all the type of gear shift patterns that is available currently in the market. First one's first is a sequential gear shift pattern, or it is also called a single side shift pattern. So this is how it is going to look like. So either you shift down for the first, and 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 follows the same side, or you shift up for the first gear, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 follow the same side. So the neutral is on one side, and all the gearing is actually on the opposite to the neutral side, basically. So it is normally found that these type of gear patterns are normally found in smaller CC motorcycles. For example, the gear shift on the right hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, on that is going on top, is normally used by Hero Honda in India until they were using it from 1985 until 1999 before they could actually introduce the legendary CBZ. That is the first bike from Hero Honda which changed the gear pattern. Basically, they actually went for the universal so-called road shift pattern. And of course, any other Indian made models, be it from Bajaj or TVS, normally use the gear shift pattern which is on your left. That is 1, 2, 3, and 4 is always on the down, and neutral is on the top. So this is one type of the gear shift pattern. Secondly, this is called as a universal standard motorcycle gear shift pattern, where the gear is first gear is down and second gear is just on top. A neutral is sandwiched between 1 and 2. If you have a doubt in this one, that's one of the reason why I actually put. I had actually tried making you understand much more easier with this picture here. So neutral is in between 1 and 2, and one the first gear is on will be you'll have to push it down, and second you have to put it up. Uh, initially when it came in, as I told you, back in 1999, when I was too young to understand the benefits of these things, I was always having an issue saying, what if uh, I shift to second and it actually falls in neutral? Because I am from OT, so here people have to raise the vehicle really hard before shifting to another gear. You have to more like you have to feed in the gear properly, or else your vehicle you have to again redo the gear again. So that was my understanding initially when I was too young, basically. So, but then as time passed by, I understood, and I would also like to give you a small tip in here. Even though the gear shift pattern is like this way, if you're going to shift from one to two, you can actually shift really hard so that you don't touch the neutral. My concept was, when what if I shift too hard and and it actually goes to some other gear. I was too naive at this point in time. So one good thing, the art of engineering is, no matter how hard you shift, one clutch in and shift up, it only engages one gear. So people who have this stupidity that I had when I was really young, please note that you can actually shift as powerful as possible and it will only go to one gear. So it is not that you shift hard and it goes directly to third gear. Until you actually shift clutch in and clutch out, it will not move to third gear. So that is all about. And this is known as the MotoGP gear shift, which is exactly the opposite of this road going shift, or the road shift basically. This is also known as the race shift pattern, where it is actually the opposite of it. So one up and neutral is sandwiched again between one and two, but in the second gear is actually you have to push it down, and followed by the higher revving gears, of course. Uh, so why is it useful basically? Why is it called as the MotoGP shift pattern, or the race shift pattern? Is because only of one reason. People tell you 1,000 reasons, but again, there's only one solid reason why the race shift is useful. And as the name goes by, it is only normally used only for the racing. In the world of racing, basically, is because when you go in for a corner, right? When you go in for a cornering, the shift, the upshift would be much more easier if you're just tapping it down than putting your leg into the knob. Here you can see Mark Marquez actually is going on the light limb. He's taking a deep right, and this is the lever. If he has to shift up, he just has to put his leg on top. That's it. Rather than rather than just imagine him going, putting the leg between these two and then pulling it up. It will take only maybe 1 second higher. That will actually add to the timing, so he can might as well shift up without even thinking twice. So that is one of the reason why race shift patterns are useful only, or basically used only for racing. And the same thing goes when he's going on the left as well. If at all, just imagine if he's going on the left, uh, his feet might be a tad inside, like maybe an inch inside, and he'll go in deep. And if at all he has to shift, he can just tap it rather than disturbing the angle, or disturbing the angle of the vehicle or the lean, basically. So that is one of the reasons the shift patterns are used. The MotoGP shift patterns are normally used for racings, basically. And of course, can we change the road going pattern into a MotoGP pattern? The answer is yes. Most of the vehicles will have this connecting link. If you have a vehicle that is which is much more committed, basically, with which has got the gear lever with a connecting rod, you can actually take this one, which is normally a 10 mm in diameter, and then yeah, this one will show you a better idea. So you remove this one off and take this on top, so to a 180 degree, so you can actually take this one off and put it here and tighten up. Immediately your shift becomes a MotoGP. So it is going to be the opposite. You just change it 180 degree, your shift also changes almost 180 degree. So if you can do it, this is the easiest way of doing. There are other cases where like people can change it within the engine. I mean, the gear into the gearbox, but this is the easiest way of doing it. So yes, the answer is you can do this one if you wish, but again, as I told you, almost 99% of the people in MotoGP have used it, but there's always a 1%, isn't it? There's always a 1% everywhere. So there's Mr. Max Biaggi, who's an Italian, of course, a MotoGP rider, and Mr. Kevin, who's an American professional world racer, basically. Both of them have not even used the MotoGP shift, even though they are actually professional racers. Max Biaggi, who has actually won about 6 world titles, has not has not preferred a MotoGP gear shift. He just went with a conventional so-called road shift, and same is with Kevin. So what would I choose? Frankly speaking, since I like to explore and I'm crazy about the new things, I would actually choose MotoGP shift for some time, just to have the kick of it. Maybe a couple of months, if I could do it. So I would choose a MotoGP shift given any day, basically. So I just wanted to learn how it feels, and frankly speaking, on a day-to-day basis, if you want to drive it for a long time, it is better to have a road shift. The reason I'll tell you, because um, so when you're braking, if you're cutting down the gear from 5 to 4 to 3 to 1, I mean 3 to neutral to 1, whatever it is, you understand what I'm saying. So if you're cutting down the gears, normally when you're slowing down, I prefer tapping it on top rather than putting my leg and then pulling it up. Maybe it's because of the practice, since we are driving it for so long. Maybe it's just because of the practice. My brain is tuned. It's more like a muscle memory. Also and done, I would prefer it for a short period of time. If I'm okay with it, I love to keep it. But given the pros and cons, it doesn't outweigh too much. So yeah, why not? Especially being in India, because your friends will take it and they might actually end up breaking it up. So it's better to have it in the normal road shift. So the bonus question, you see here, I mean, racer is actually moving his vehicle down. You can see he's holding his clutch and he's about to shift it to the first gear. But why is that? His mechanic or the teammate is actually pushing him out. Why can't he put the gear and then move in? The reason is because is to save the clutch. The clutches that is used in the MotoGP motorcycles are very light. Just to have some life. Of course, they will change it in each and every race, after every race. But again, at least to last for the race, they will try the best to do push the gear, because of these are all high torquey engines. So just to push the vehicle in this one, and the clutch in will actually help. If you have ever been in a situation where your clutch cable is broken and you have to still move it, you can still do the same thing actually. So if the clutch cable is gone, you can still move the vehicle and then gear up. It will engage and you can still drive it. I have done it in many ways, so that's the reason I'm saying. And this actually came back in time when the sports bikes were all two strokes, before the world of fuel injection came in. The concept of fuel injection came in. So you understand how is it, right? The two strokes before fuel injection. Initial, when you start the engine, the two-stroke engine actually revs really, really high. And just imagine you holding the gear, you holding the clutch in, and then and engaging the gear, you hear that weird sound, So just to save the gears and especially the clutches, the reason why this thing happens. This is something which I did learn when I was in Texas. I got to know. I just had this question on all my life. I just asked one of the crew member when I actually went for to witness a race or MotoGP race when I was in the US. So this is it. I hope you would have enjoyed or learned new things if at all you have not already learned. So I will see you in the next video. Cheers.
And that's the way this blog ends. Over and out.
Copy that.
Roger that.